Hey, so we finally got to play Splatoon. It's the 9th of May 2015 and I've just finished playing the Testfire demo that was around for an hour. Got to play some of the online 4v4 paint the whole map game type, and the only thing I think I have to say about this game is 10 out of 10.
This game is amazing.
Buy it. Oh, look at the little inkling girl, she's pretty cute though. Okay, sorry, I think I got ahead of myself there a little bit. That was quite a few things. It's just that this game, the little time I had with it, the 45 minutes that I got to play it, just one type of game mode online as well. It was just so much fun. I knew I'd enjoy it when I got to play it. I've been looking forward to it for so long, but I didn't think it'd be this much fun when the servers weren't disconnecting on me. It's just pure fun condensed into a video game, and it's rare that you get that kind of stuff. Like I'm going to list off a few Nintendo games, funnily enough. You've got like the Mario Kart and Mario Party and Super Smash Bros. You know, when you sit down and the game is just nice and clean and polished to hell and just fun. And that's one of the only ways that I can describe this game, is that it's just fun. Now, in this video, I'm going to not speak so much about the main game and what the game is and do an actual review of the game, especially when it hasn't even come out yet. But what I'm going to try and go over is my experiences and try and explain some of how the demo worked. With the demo, I got about an hour to play short, I think less than 5-minute games, maybe about 5-minute games of the game mode that you would play online called Turf War, which is you're in a map, like any kind of first, third person shooter, whatever, but you have your paint guns, and it's in the time limit provided the team that can fill up the map with the most amount of their paint. So they'd have to shoot walls and floors, etc., or shoot other people, which is fun. On the subject of the guns, in the demo we could only use 4 different types of weapons. They were the Splatter Shot, which is just like the standard assault rifle, the Splatter Shot Junior, which was like the assault rifle but had a fair less range but shot very quickly, so more like a kind of submachine gun kind of gun. The Splatter Scope, which is a kind of like a sniper, is a lot more like you charge it and then it shoots a bolt that goes a fair bit further and does a lot more damage. It would like killing one if it hits someone's head on. And the Splat Roller, which is different. It's like a melee weapon, but like how I was saying before, how you have to paint the whole of the map. It's like a paint roller. It was literally a paint roller. It was a big paint roller gun thing, not even a gun, and it would just roll. You'd use it and it would roll paint along the floor, which is by far the best way of making an area your team colour in the quickest amount possible. And also you could sneak up behind people and kill them in one if they don't know that you're there, which is really satisfying. I'm actually genuinely struggling to find anything bad with this game or with the experience that I had with it, apart from things that are just purely my own fault, like my internet completely screwing up, and I only had an hour and my internet decided to break on the first half hour that I got with this demo, and it was crushing, it was soul breaking, and I decided to give up and then try again a few minutes later, and then my recording software was off, so unfortunately I couldn't capture anything, like any footage for this video, apart from the little bits that are being constantly played now and stuff like that, of the same things, which is really quite upsetting. With the demo, I found that a lot of the games I was losing, I was always on the top of, and I was winning by quite a few amount of points. So I feel like, yeah, a lot of the games I was losing, this is going to make me sound really big-headed and nasty, but I felt a lot of the games I was losing because of the teammates that I was matchmade with. So, I mean, hopefully that'll be addressed, because in the actual game there's going to be a ranked game mode online kind of thing, so you'll probably be more match-made with the players that are of the same level as you, so the games will be a lot more fair, or they'll feel a lot more fair when you play them. It's a bit of a nitpick, I guess, but the motion controls felt really horrible, just for me, and I say that it's a nitpick because you can change it to not motion controls, so it's absolutely fine. Like you would aim, the motion controls would be that you would aim with by tilting the gamepad, and it would correspond on the screen with your crosshairs. So you'd tilt the gamepad up and you'd aim up, you know what I mean. But you can just change that and use the 2 sticks to aim and move, so it's absolutely fine, and that's why I say it's a little bit of a nitpick. Another thing that feels a little bit nitpicky to me, because it's just my own personal preference, is that the games felt a little bit too short. Maybe if I had the full game and I had the different game modes, etc., I'd be able to appreciate the game time, but just for me and my own personal opinion, the Turf War game mode felt like it was a little bit too short. Like the game's only lasted about 3 to 5 minutes, if I can recall. So, but the good points about this game far outweigh any negatives that you could possibly have with it. There are just so many good things that I found with this experience. It was absolutely amazing. I've got a whole huge list of them, and I'll try and go through them as comprehensively as possible. Like to start with, the core gameplay of the game, which is just the one game mode that we had available, which was the Turf War one, which is just to fill, like I said before, just paint the whole of the map, as much of the map as you can, even with your team colours paint. That is so much fun when it works, but like I said before, I think that the problems that I had with the servers were on my end, so because I had a look online afterwards and people seemed to be having absolutely no problem with them, and as soon as I turned off my laptop, which tends to eat up quite a lot of my bandwidth, and iPad and my recording software, I had absolutely no problems with it. I had zero lag, it ran beautifully at like 60 frames per second constantly, no matter what was going on the screen, and there is a lot going on at the screen. It's constantly mental with so many different colours, and just everything looks beautiful, rendered 1080p, 60 FPS constantly. It looks beautiful and looks amazing. Like I've just touched on about the colours, I'll go into a little bit more depth of them now. They complement each other really well. Like you'd be assigned a team colour at the start of each game, so you'd spawn and you might be like lime green, for example. Your team would be the lime green team, and the other team would be like a really vibrant blue, which really go together, really like complement each other and go together really well, especially when you're doing the Turf War like we did with the painting the whole of the map. So the whole map would be either blue or green, or mixes of them all together in different places, which looks really nice. Or like you'd have pink and blue, or orange and green, or whatever, and it just looked really, really nice. The art style of the game is really nice as well. It's really stylized. Like it all looks very cartoony and Nintendo-y and cute and cool and really nice and vibrant with all the different colours of the different, I don't know what the characters are called, squiddies or squiddos or something like that. They're all mixed together and they all look really, really cool. So the game's art style is really nicely done. It feels like a very fresh take on the third-person shooter genre. Like it makes a very nice different take than your standard Call of Duties or your Battlefield. Not that those are bad games at all, that's not what I'm saying, but it just feels nice to have a kind of Nintendo-esque spin on the shooter genre with these squid people, like squid children even. They're like teenagers and they're trying to look cool and teenagery, and that's, I guess, the kind of market that they're going for, and it works really well. And I'm 21 and I still love it. So what does that say about me? I guess it says I'm a man-child, but I don't care because it looks awesome. I explained earlier in the video what the different weapons are, but I didn't really go into much detail about how different they all feel. They all do complement each other and feel very different. When you first start playing, it feels like the roller is really OP, because the only game mode we got to play was the Turf War one, which is just to cover the map with your team colour, and for that the roller really does shine really well because it just covers everything instantly. You can just run in a straight line in a corridor and fill that whole corridor with your team's colour straight away, and that's a lot harder to do. Well, not harder, but it takes a little bit longer to do with a gun. So it's not the best. The gun isn't the kind of best weapon that you'd want for that kind of situation. However, playing a little bit more and getting a little more into it and learning the mechanics of the game, you realise that actually they're all balanced very well. And we only got to use 4 different guns, and there's like 10 at least different guns in this game, and I'm sure they'll add more when the full game comes because they're staggering. A little bit like Destiny with the expansions, if you can imagine. They're just like, and I think they're all going to be free as well, so it's not like Destiny at all. But they're going to add more expansions and more maps and more guns, etc, etc, and it's all going to be really nice. So the guns, like I was saying, they all feel very different, with the little sniper rifle-esque gun and the SMG kind of one, the submachine gunny gun, and the assault rifle one. Like I was saying with the negatives, the guns don't have a lot of range. Even the sniper rifle, it will shoot paint and it will fall flat. The paint will just fall flat in a line about 10 to 20 feet in front of your character. But that can be argued with, they're not shooting bullets. They're shooting paint out of a little paint gun. So it's not you're not gonna be able to do a 360 no scope and get some squiddy guy across the map with your paint gun, because it's paint, and the whole game is built around it being paint. It's not built around it being a shooter game with bullets, like with COD and that. So the game mode and the maps are built with that in mind, and it works really, really well and really nice. There's also like equipment that you can use, like grenades, paint grenades, and special equipment like huge paint cannons or something that will you have to charge up by putting down a lot of paint or killing a certain amount of enemies or something like that, and then you tap the right button, the right toggle in, and you just fire this, depending on what your class is or what you've selected. You just fire this special thing. Like you could have like unlimited paint grenades for a few seconds, and you just spam the paint grenades across the map, and they just blow up everywhere and cover everything with your paint. But again, they're not too OP. Like they can be challenged in a certain way with other different classes or other different special weapons that you would be able to use, and you'd be able to challenge somebody. And actually, it's quite easy to die in this game. It's not just you have the paint grenade, you win with the paint grenade, because the paint grenade's not that OP. You don't get to use it that much until you get to charge it up and use your special ability, which is just to like spam paint grenades. But yeah, so it's not too OP, because other guns will just be able to decimate you, or while you're doing that you'll have a little bit less maneuverability or something like that, so someone will just be able to go around a corner and submachine gun you, blow you up. The Wii U gamepad is used quite well in this game. Like you'll have a constant one-to-one display of the entire map on your gamepad and all of your players as well, like all of the people on your team, the 3 other people, with where they are on the map. And when you spawn, you can tap their position on the gamepad and fly across the map to wherever they are and just join the action immediately, which saves the can be a little bit boring sometimes in games, especially shooter games on multiplayer, when you know all the action's going off on the other side of your team spawn, the other side of the map to your team spawn, so you have to run all the way across the map and get to your team spawn. So you can just fly straight in there and start just shooting when you're in the air as well, which is a little bit inaccurate because it's paint, so it's just flying all over the place a little bit. But it's a lot of fun to just fly across and be like Rambo, shooting around in a circle or whatever with your paint, and just trying to lay down as much as you can before you get to the action and try and kill some squiddos. I've got to find out what their name is before I keep on calling them squiddos, because I'm certain it isn't squiddos. One little minor thing that I've got to touch on that's good though is the music in the game. The soundtrack, we only got to listen to a couple of tracks from the main game soundtrack, but it is really, really cool. It is really nice. It's all sung in the Inkling language as well, which is really quite surreal to listen to. It's a bit weird, but it works really nicely with the art style of the game as well. It complements the gameplay and the art style really well, with it being all cartoony and weird and kind of almost like K-poppy kind of thing. It's really nice and really cool and funny, and it's like playing a game of Sims when all the songs, all the pop songs etc. are sung in Simish. So it's a little bit weird, and it just gives that little bit, just adds that little nice, like little Nintendo polish to the game. And from what I learnt whilst playing the demo, I think that's pretty much all I can say about it. The only thing I'll leave with is, if you don't have a Wii U, now's the time to get a Wii U, because there are some really, really nice games. 2014 was a particularly really good game for a really good year for the Wii U. It, like Mario, we've talked Mario Kart, Mario Party 10, 3D World, Super Smash Bros. You can also get like the Wind Waker HD remake, which is amazing, and now Splatoon's coming out next year. We've got the new Legend of Zelda game, which looks just basically like Skyrim but Zelda, which is going to be really, really good. And if you do have a Wii U and you don't think you'll buy Splatoon, you're wrong. Buy Splatoon. Trust me, you'll thank me forever. Splatoon's going to be amazing. I can't wait to play it May 29th when this comes out. I'm almost definitely going to pre-order it right now. And I can't wait to get going, and I will see you on the Squid Paint Battleground, whatever you want to call it. Thank you so much for listening to me babble on for about 15 minutes about my experience with the Splatoon demo. I cannot wait for May 29th when this game drops. I definitely, for one, am going to get this game, and I hope you are too. If you like this video, then please drop me a quick little like. I'd really appreciate it. And subscribe if you want more videos like this. I will definitely be wanting and trying to make more videos reviewing and detailing experiences in other games, etc. And if Let's Plays are more your style, then I've got plenty on this channel. So click subscribe quickly if you want, or click on the links on the screen to go to some of my other videos. Thanks a lot.